Hello guys, and welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Photoshop. So what I'm planning to do in this class is pretty simple. I want to put everything that we have just learned into application and simply practicing the color adjustment on 3 different pictures. So what I did is simply imported 3 different pictures. So as you can see, I have 3 different pictures with different backgrounds. And what I want to do today is simply, well, practicing what we have just learned on those pictures. So we'll start with the first one right here. We'll just take away the other ones. And basically what we will do, we are going to work with we are just going to work with the colors. So basically to change the colors on those pictures and to make them maybe not more beautiful, but just change them. And in my opinion, yeah, make them a little bit better. So first of all, we'll just click right here and we'll select the curves tool right there. So we'll start with the curve tool, and the second tool that we are going to use today will be the color balance. So basically right here. And basically those are the main tools that I personally use. Well, more the curve tool that I prefer, but the color balance I work with it after that. So pretty simple, as I told you guys, what we'll start with, we'll simply start by clicking on the auto right here to see if it looks good. So right now it's not that bad. Next thing, we are going to choose for our color. So basically, we want to find the blackest part of the picture. So the darkest part of the picture is somewhere right here, in my opinion. So we can just play around. After that, the brightest part in the picture would be somewhere right here. So here it's pretty bright. So once again, the goal, it's not going to be perfect the first shot. The goal here is really to play around and try to find the brightest part. And yes, sometimes it might take, sometimes it might take a little bit of time, which is pretty normal. So once again, we don't want to select spots that are too dark for our, for our picture. Alright, so right now we have our picture right here. Next thing, finding a spot that is gray, so pretty gray. I think this one would work. Alright, so right now it's not that bad. It has a little vintage effect, which is pretty cool. Alright, next thing that we want to do is play with the colors inside of the picture. So what we'll do, we'll go color by color. So we'll start with the red one. Do we need to add or subtract some red from this picture? So this is what we are going to look at. So if we subtract too much red, what's going to happen is going to become too cyan. And if we add too much red, well, once again, it will not make sense and the picture will not be that good. So what we'll do for this pic, we'll just subtract a little bit of red, not that much. Then next color, we'll go with the green. So here we can maybe add some green. Nope. Okay, we can subtract a little bit of green. And finally, the last one would be the blue. And once again, it always depends of what exactly we want to do. So right there, I think it could work. So adding a little yellow effect. So once again, what we have just did with this picture, we have created a more vintage effect, which is pretty cool. All right, so the picture looks something like this. Next thing, what we can work with would be the color balance right there. So once again, this is up to you. So it could be way more red, way more cyan. So basically the color balance, well, this is basically the tone of the picture. So we can make it more colder, more hotter in this case. In my opinion, the blue should be more relieved. Here with the green, I don't think we need to add something. And for the yellow part, we can maybe add some yellow. Or some blue. Yeah, some blue would be better. Alright, so the picture would look something like this. So if we look with modifications and without the modifications, so if we take the modifications away, the picture looks like this. And with the modifications, the picture looks something like this, which in my opinion is pretty cool. Alright, so this is the first pic that we have worked with. Second one that we are going to work with today will be this one right here. So once again, this picture looks pretty beautiful. So it has been worked on Photoshop, obviously. But what we are going to do, we are going to try to improve this picture. So pretty much same thing. We are going to add the, well, we are going to add some colors right here. So as always, we're going to add curves, and finally color balance. Once again, you can spend way more time than just 5 minutes per picture, but right now I just want to practice the things that we have, that we talked about, and not make it too complicated. So as always, we are going to start with the curves, and what we are going to do is pretty simple. So what we want to start with will be by clicking on the auto, and this way we are going to have this picture right here. So the picture already looks pretty good, but we'll try to bring some improvements to the picture if we are able, of course. So we'll try to find the darkest part of the picture, so it's going to be probably somewhere right here. So automatically, as you can see, the colors became way more alive. The brightest part of the picture right now, so where exactly is the brightest part? Maybe here in the skies. Once again, we can look for the brightest part and try to find it. So probably right here. Alright, this looks not that bad. And finally, the grayest part of the picture, maybe this building. It gives a red effect. I don't like it that much. Okay. Alright, like this. It's not that bad. So right now we have our picture that we can work with. So basically the colors became like this. Next thing, what we can do right now is play with the color balance and maybe add some red in this case. So basically by adding some red, we'll add more life to the picture. And by adding more cyan, well, the picture will be more cool. So in this case, I want to add more red. So simply by adding more life to the picture. So not too much, once again, because if you add too much, well, even too much red will be not that bad. So we won't add too much red, just enough. Next, can we play with the blue or the magenta? We are going to verify this. So magenta or green. So once again, if you in this picture, in this case, if you add green, I will give more a retro effect, so I prefer the magenta. So basically we can maybe give a little bit of magenta to the picture. And finally, for the last part right here, we'll try both of them. So if we add some blue, it's not that bad. If we add some yellow. So in my opinion, this one, well, this part right here, maybe a little bit more blue than yellow. So this is the picture that we have at the end. So basically this is the picture with modifications, and this is the picture without modifications. So as you can see, we automatically can see a huge difference in the two pictures. And in my opinion, that the picture that we have created is way better because once again, there is more life to the picture. And the colors are way more, well, we can say it, if we can say it this way, way more visible. So basically we see way more the lights that are on. We can see, well, there's more things that we can see in the picture. If we compare it to this one right here. All right, finally, the last picture that we are going to work with today will be this one right here. So I'll just bring it there. So once again, it's a city picture, and we will try to modify it as well. So once again, this is another beautiful picture, and probably it has, it has been taken and then it has been photoshopped. So what we'll do right now, we are going to do pretty much the same thing. So we are going to bring in colors, so in this case curves, and color balance. And this is exactly what we are going to do. So we can also work with the brightness, the contrast, and other stuff. But once again, I just want to practice the main things in the pictures. So basically the main things will be the curves and the color balance. This is how you play with, well, in this case, you play with the colors. After that, playing with the brightness and the contrast is not that complicated. You can finish with this part. Alright, so once again, the curve is the most important part. So as always, we're going to click on auto to see what it will look like. So as I said, this picture is already really beautiful. So there is not that much modifications that have been done with the auto, with the use of the auto. Then we're going to verify for the red color if we can do something. So in this case, there is not that much that can be done. So if we add some red, what's gonna happen is that well, it's gonna give more life to the picture, but it's gonna become a little bit too red. Same thing for the blue. If we add too much blue, it's gonna be too much dark. So in my opinion, we can add a little bit of red to this picture just to give it a little bit more life. So not that much, just a little bit. Here we go. So here we have our red that is added. All right, next thing we wanna check for the green. So in this case, can we add some green? Okay, we can maybe go to the magenta. So basically, right here, it's gonna be way more beautiful. Once again, it adds life to the picture. And finally, for the blue. So in this case, I think we'll add some blue. So if we check for blue, yeah, with the blue, it's gonna be way more beautiful. If the yellow, well, okay, yeah, with yellow is not that bad as well, but once again, it depends what exactly you want to do with the picture. So if you want to have a more retro style, in my opinion, the yellow will be good, and otherwise the blue would be good. The blue, well, in this case, if you want to add more blue, it's gonna be more a nighty picture, more well, a picture that has more night, more cold picture. So we'll add a little bit of blue. In my opinion, blue will be perfect for this. Here we go. So we have our blue right there. All right, next thing that we want to play with would be the color balance. And once again, here we decide if we want the picture to be more cold or hot. So in this case, I prefer, we can check for both of them. So cyan and red. So there is not that much that can be done for now. So in my opinion, the cyan will be better. Here we go. Once again, magenta or green. So if we go with the green, it's going to be more like this. If we go with the magenta, it's going to be more like this. And finally, yellow or blue. So we can tend the picture more to the yellow or more to the blue. And in this case, I think that, well, if we check for the yellow, in my opinion, the blue will be better because it's going to be more a nightlife picture. Here we go. Alright, so right now we have everything that we need. So the picture has been modified. So not that bad. What we can do right now is simply check what will be the difference between the picture before and after. So once again, here is our picture before. And here is our picture that have been modified. So as you can see, there is not that much difference inside of the picture. But once again, when you bring the modifications to the picture, well, picture without modifications and picture with modifications, you can see a certain difference. Basically, this type of difference, it's well, it depends of what exactly you want to create for your picture. So if you want a picture, well, it depends on your picture, you want it for what. So depending of what exactly you want to do with your picture, you will bring some types of modifications to your picture. So I hope you guys understand how everything works. So pretty simple. First thing that you guys need to do, you go on curves, click on auto. Then find the darkest spot of the picture, the brightest spot of the picture, the grayest spot of the picture. If the picture is already worked on and you see that the picture is high quality, maybe you don't have to use those and directly start with the colors. But in my opinion, I always suggest to use those. For example, for this picture, we didn't use them, but usually I really suggest to use them. After that, you simply play with the colors red, green, blue. You verify if it can add a certain effect to your picture. If yes, work with them. If not, it's not a big deal. You don't necessarily need to modify them. And finally, when all is done, you can play with the color balance. So basically, those are the main, well, the main things that you can bring to a picture. The main modifications that you can bring to a picture. You can also play with the brightness and the levels and the other things that you guys have right here. But in my opinion, the most important will be the curve and the color balance. The brightness is it's also important, but those ones are the biggest ones. So right now you know how to use them. So that's it for this class, guys, and see you all in our next class.